Joining me is brother MENJ. Sound bro? Are you there?
Walaikum salam warahmatullahi. Yep, I'm here.
Tell me, my mic
In
goes
the
off.
flesh. Oh, your mic was off. I didn't even realize your mic was off.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Prior to that, I was really busy for the past 3 or 4 weeks or so. I was long story behind it, but then here I am. I'm back.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Did you see this debate between Daniel and Apos?
On October 7, Hamas is Hamas.
Speaking of which, basically they're debating which religion is responsible for, I think, the war where mostly civilians from the Palestinian side are dying. I don't know, like, do you think it's a war, bro?
Honestly, it fits the definition of a genocide. Okay,
Yeah, it's a massacre.
You can see, it's a massacre. I mean, they attack civilians, and that is why you see a lot of casualties coming from the civilian side. But in terms of doing damage on Hamas, on the Palestinian resistance, I would say absolutely zero.
You suck!
One side in this conflict, in the war that has been going on since October 7 now, is Hamas. The other side is Israel. Israel is a largely secular Jewish nation, country, that is built on secular Jewish values, which makes very little reference to Judaism in its Declaration of Independence, in its basic laws. And even
So which secular Jewish country wants to destroy a historical religious site and build their own majority religious holy place in it, holy site in its place?
Exactly. I do not know of any religion in history which takes over a kind of country, claiming that their religious doctrines from goodness knows how many years ago gives them a right, a claim to that particular land. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, if we use that kind of logic, then Spain should belong to the Muslims.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, this is a point that like Apos brings up, which is that, Israel is a secular country. Really, what secular country?
No,
what
it's
secular
not.
country literally says the things that some of these people are saying?
a utopian, beautiful form, just called the Old New Land. On the other hand, we have Hamas.
Daniel looks so bored.
Yeah, because he has to listen to this clown talking.
Fight those, and it is called the Islamic resistance movement. It is very clear from Hamas's own declarations, from its own covenant, its own charter, that its aim is to preserve and establish Islamic values and an Islamic state. In fact, Hamas leaders themselves.
See this hadith again.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Sunni Muslims make up more than 80% of the Muslim world. They believe that Muhammad made prophecies about the future, about the end times, and this is one of those prophecies. According to Sunni Muslim studies and studies of reports about Muhammad, the hour will not come unless the Muslims will fight the Jews and kill them. Fight the Jews and kill them until the Jews hide behind a stone or a tree. And a stone or a tree will say, Muslim, there is a Jew behind me, come and kill him. But the garlic tree would not say, for it is the tree of the Jews. So allegedly there is this tree called a garlic tree in this strange fantasy world that...
Yeah, this is not the full version of the hadith. The full version of the hadith is basically talking about followers of Dajjal.
The Dajjal, yeah.
There will be some Jews who will follow Dajjal. And basically there will be a fight between Isa alayhi salam and his followers. So that's who the Jews that we're talking about. So
by the way, can you show the full hadith again?
In some reports, there is an indication that the fighting against the Jews that is mentioned in this hadith will occur at the end of times when the Dajjal emerges.
Yes.
And the Messiah, Isa ibn Maryam, fights him. Abdullah ibn Umar narrated that the messenger of Allah said the Dajjal will camp in the salty barren ground of Markanat. Most of those who go out to him will be women, and to the extent that a man will, it's the same hadith, and Allah will give power over them, and they will kill him and his party until a Jew. So basically, kill him and his party. This part is important because it is clearly referring to the Jews. Because it says until a Jew will hide beneath a tree. So it's referring to the Jew.
Yes.
Then we can read the hadith scholars and what they said about it. These corroborating reports were quoted by Al-Hafiz Ibn Hajar in Fath al-Bari. He classed as Hassan the hadith of Samra bin Junnab. Then he said what is meant by fighting the Jews is that this will happen when the Dajjal emerges. This is the opinion of Ibn Hajar. So this is talking about Dajjal's army. So the Jews will be part of Dajjal's army.
Exactly.
Ibn Muthaq said what is meant by the words you will fight the Jews is that this will happen when Isa descends and Muslims will be with and the Jews will be with the Dajjal. Read about this in Al-Tawl. So basically that's that. So I mean I already talked about it before, but as you guys can see, quoting the hadith out of context.
Here is an excerpt from the Hamas Covenant, 1988. in which they make one thing very clear. They say that they aspire to fulfill or look forward to Allah's promise, no matter how long that should take. And they then say the Prophet, Allah bless him and grant him salvation, has said the day of judgment will not come about until Muslims fight the Jews, killing the Jews, when the Jew will hide behind stones and trees, and the trees say there's a Jew behind me, come and kill him. So very same narrative again found right here in the charter, the covenant of none other than
again, like he doesn't mention why Hamas is actually quoting this hadith. Like, why are they quoting the hadith? Like, what could possibly have Israel done that they are quoting this hadith? Like, what's the reason? They're just quoting this hadith out of nowhere. Israel did nothing. They're just
nothing, no contact.
They're just hanging out, watching commentary. Like what happened? They just all of a sudden got bored and just decided to make a covenant and and quote this hadith. So obviously, the reason groups like Hamas or like groups like Fatah and all these kind of other kind of like parties that they oppose the Zionist regime is because it's an illegal state. It's an illegal apartheid state that has put Palestinians under brutal occupation, absolutely horrendous and brutal occupation. So of course they're gonna quote hadiths like this to encourage their followers to fight their occupiers. Like, what do you expect them to do? Like, just sit there and chew chewing gums? Like, it's just absurd. And he completely ignored all this. He's just like, oh, look at this hadith.
No, he's just
evil.
taking it out.
Look at this hadith. Oh
we see
no!
here an example of from one of the recent
Oh my God! Look at this
rallies.
A plank in a pro-Palestinian. Look at this, bro. He takes a picture of like some pro-Palestinian, and they have like written like, now do you understand why the trees and rocks will have to speak?
Referring to the hadith, but by taking it out of context, and then he uses this as an evidence.
And again, he doesn't explain the context of why these people are there in the first place. Like, did they just feel bored and got out? Like, what happened? Like, why are they there? Why didn't you explain it? Obviously, they're there because there's an active genocide. Like, nearly 30,000 innocent people have been killed by these quote-unquote people who describe themselves as Jews. So they're obviously invoking this hadith. Like, that's his presentation. That's his presentation. His argument is, look at this hadith. It says that Jews are bad. So the Muslims are bad,
And then so he didn't answer the question: which region caused the Israel-Palestine war? He doesn't answer that question, man. What does he answer the question? I mean, come on! Oh my God!
Oh, that's his presentation. Oh, look at this hadith. This hadith seems like anti-Semitic. Muslims are anti-Semitic. Hamas.
Yeah, Muslims are anti-Semitic. Hamas almost October 7.
But that doesn't prove that Islam promotes violence or war crimes.
The Talmud further teaches that non-Jews are not to be regarded as humans or treated as such. Only Jews are human. In the Babylonian Talmud, Baba Metzia 114b, we read, quote, Jewish people are called man, but Gentiles are not called man. The Talmud also teaches that all non-Jews are akin to dangerous animals, or more specifically snakes. Hence, all non-Jews should be killed. The Talmud states, kill the best of Gentiles, smash the head of the best of snakes.
Speaking of which, Leviticus 25:44. Okay. So here it says, as for your male and female slaves, whom you may buy male and female slaves from among the nations that are around you. Right? So basically, this is talking about Gentiles, because they're saying the nations around you, right? Obviously, it's not referring to the Jews or the Israelites. So if you want to take slaves in Judaism or in Christianity, you have to take them from around you. It cannot be Jews, or even if it's Jews, then they have a different ruling. You may also buy from among the strangers. Again, this is referring to strangers, meaning not the Jews. You may also buy from among the strangers who sojourn with you and their clans that are with you, who have been born in the land, and they may be your property. You may bequeath them to your sons after you to inherit as possession forever. So the ruling when it comes to Gentile slaves is that you can own them forever, right? Now, if we go to Exodus 21, this is what it says about Hebrew slaves, right? Now, these are the rules that you shall set before them. When you buy a Hebrew slave, he shall serve 6 years, and in the 7th, he shall go out free for nothing. So, do you see the difference between Gentile slaves and the Hebrew slaves? When it comes
There
to
is
the
a-
Gentiles, they can be owned forever. But when it
Yes.
comes to the Hebrews, you can only own them for 6 years. I mean, like, if this doesn't show you how Torah looked down on Gentiles, then I don't know what will. You know,
Yeah.
this is so obvious that they clearly prefer and don't see the Gentiles as fully
I mean, it's
equal.
quite obvious, isn't it? Yeah, it's very obvious.
Yeah.